I see some early birds. Who's here with me? It's 8 o'clock. Who's gonna say hey? I usually give I usually give a few minutes for more to join, but I like being on time. Hi, Laurel. You remembered. You remembered tonight. Sasha, hey. Hey. All the early birds, you catch the worms. Linda. Linda, some people beat you tonight. You set the Laurel, you set the alarm. That's why you're on time. Awesome. 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 Linda, you would have missed the gift tonight. And see, last week I had the gift for you and you weren't here. But I have a gift though. Awesome. You set the alarm. Okay. I'll just wait one more minute and just start because when I have the early birds, I don't want to keep them waiting. I don't believe in keeping people waiting. Hey, T. T, you got your beauty rest. You don't need it, but you got your nap. Awesome. You're here. Awesome. D, Dillette. Tanya, you sure did get it. Oh, you were on the other page waiting, Linda. Oh no. So okay, so you still won. You still got the early bird gift. So I'll inbox you and tell you what that is. All right, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. Welcome to Banter with Bev. Welcome to Banter with Bev. Deland, hey D. Nice to have you. So you're most welcome, Linda. You're most welcome. So I'm gonna get started. And so tonight, let me start from scratch. It's 8:02. So I'll start from scratch. I'll start from the top. Good night, everybody. Welcome to Banter with Bev. I'm your host, Beverley R. Williams from Be Will Inspires. And I'm just so excited to have you guys here with me tonight. I am super excited. And I'm really super, super excited because tonight is a special night. As you can see, I'm not flanked by anybody. And there's nobody on another screen. It's just me. I'm flying solo. Okay, I'm flying solo, so I will need y'all to help me tonight. But I'm flying solo. I said, hey, let me do this solo flow, free flow convo. For you who were with me, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I had our daughter, Alea. She was by my side, and we did the free flow convo kind of thing. And tonight, all week, I've been wrestling with the show for tonight. And I have some people lined up and all ready to go. But it was just something, I was just having this wrestling. And I was like, okay, God, what's going to happen tonight? And it wasn't until maybe literally 48 hours. It was like, okay, you go and you do this on your own, do the solo thing. And even though, like I say, I have some guests and we have some awesome topics lined up for you guys, some awesome shows. Um, but I said, this thing that was weighing so heavy on my heart, I just needed to get it off. And only me could get it off. If it's weighing on my heart, only me. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Marlene. Look at y'all about to cost me at cray cray. Nice seeing you. But only me, when you have something on your heart, only you can really get that off. So I said, okay, where do I start? Where do I start? And I said, I'll start by asking my audience, because y'all, I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing myself somewhere behind me. But anyway, that seems to be what a recurring theme where I'm hearing myself in the background. But if y'all don't hear me, did y'all hear that just now? Let me know if y'all heard that noise. Are y'all hearing some background noise? Okay, nobody saying yes, so that means keep going. Let's keep talking. So let me ask you. Shit. Okay, great, great, great. Oh no, I'm getting distracted, guys. Can you just hold on? I'm so sorry. All right. I think they must have heard me saying that because I was getting distracted. So I'm about to share. Let me ask anybody who has ever been on a job and you felt, hey Travis, I see everybody. So I got to stay focused here. Everybody, anybody, I'll shout out and we'll talk in a minute. But anybody ever been on a job and you felt restless? If you felt restless when you were on a job, just put yes. You could talk with me. Or now, I said if you've been on a job and you felt restless. I didn't say if you were in a relationship and felt restless. That's a whole nother story for another for another time. But if you've been on a job and you felt restless, and okay, excellent. I see some people saying yes. Yeah, you felt restless. It's almost like and that restlessness you were feeling, it wasn't because uh like some of my sister friends on the line, when you get to a certain age, you just can't focus, you can't concentrate because you can't focus, you can't concentrate. What's that? Because you can't focus that like right now. I don't do well. You can't focus, you can't concentrate when things are going on around you. So you're on that job and for whatever reason, you can't focus. It's not because of like me. It's not because of if you're hearing some noise, some stuff is going on around me. Laurel, I'm glad you're having a good time right now because things are falling. And I'm saying, okay, this is a object lesson happening in real time, okay? About can't focus. But anyway, or some people they may have another health impaired condition like ADHD or something that keeps them distracted. But you're on this job and you just restless because you're bored, outright bored. You don't like the job. Or maybe you're on a job or in a career and it's really difficult, and maybe for some students, I saw some young people who are on, you're studying for this career choice and you just don't like it. And so it's just difficult. It's hard. I don't care how hard you try, you're just pulling them C's. Or I don't care how much you read the job book thing that they give you for all the responsibilities and descriptions you're supposed to do, you just don't get it. Or maybe you're in a career and you're just completely miserable. You come home in the evenings and you just feel empty, you just feel depressed, sad. Anybody can testify, or anybody can understand what I'm trying to say. Let me tell you, I was on this job one time, and well, it wasn't really a job. I was helping a friend. I was helping a friend and her husband who owned a company, and they called me in to do some consulting services. And this is how bad it got for me on this. Well, what on this? It was supposed to be a 3-month thing that ended up being way just far much longer than it should have been. And I was just absolutely miserable. I was every time the owner would come in the office, I would be either crying, close to crying, just totally frustrated. And he actually ended up calling me the weeping prophet Okay, the weeping prophet. And I'm like, okay, that ain't no compliment right now. But that's how miserable I was. And then maybe some of you, and this is the last thing, I'm just trying to throw out different scenarios so you could identify. And look, you may not be going through any of these things right now, but that may be right around the corner. So you need to hang on because I'm about to tell you my story. So maybe some of you have been, on a job that's just absolutely toxic. It's bad for your health. You have headaches, backaches, stomach aches, and you just don't know what's going on. But listen, uh, when I thought about all of what I was getting ready to say tonight, I literally had to say all these different things. Whether you're miserable, you're frustrated, or your health is at risk. Um, hmm, these may just be clues, right? These may be some of the clues that we choose to ignore, or sometimes they just don't come to the forefront, right? Until we're in a critical case and in a critical state. And so these may be clues to say, hey, it's time to wake up from living a nightmarish life, right? A nightmarish life, a life where it's just unpleasant. Because let me tell you, when you go on these jobs, you're there for 8, 9 hours. And for you to be having headaches or for you to be, you can't focus, it's just misery. And it may be just clues, just saying, look, it's time for you to pursue that dream. To pursue that dream. So tonight, I want to talk a little to dreamers. Do I have any dreamers out there? Huh? Anybody who's on the line? Any dreamers? If I ain't got no dreamers, then man, I should hope I got some dreamers. See, and that's the thing. A lot of times we don't like to, well, maybe we have dreamers, but we don't know that a dream is in us. Or maybe we have dreamers and we don't even want to say we're dreamers. But let me tell you, I know somebody's out there who understands what I'm going through, and I'm going to try stick with my notes. Usually I don't, but I'm going to try stick with my notes so I can get everything. So maybe if you're going through those different things that I just talked about, maybe you need to start dreaming. Maybe you need to start searching and looking for something that you just need to look for something that will give you hope, right? You need to look for something that'll nourish your soul, because all those things I was just talking about. Yes, speak out. Okay, Delette, you hear me. You're with me. Something that'll nourish your soul. Something that, what is it that nourishes your soul? Sometimes you have to ask yourself that question. You wake up in the morning and you're thinking about it. You go to bed at night and you dream about it. Do you have that thing? Do you have something like that going on? You can't sleep at night because, you're up thinking about it. And then when you do think about it, it puts a smile on your face. Even if it's something that's very difficult. I want y'all to start thinking. I had some experience 20 years ago. Used to come home crying. Exactly. And this is interesting. I'm going to talk in fact, Michelle, my story that I'm about to share, it happened 20 years ago. So listen, if you gotta have that passion. If not, then it's time. You have to start working to find it. You have to be working towards achieving it. You got to stop wishing, right? You got to stop wishing. You got to stop thinking about it and start working towards it. So let me get to my story. So just to be clear, before I get into my story, before I go further, when I say what am I talking about? So I'm talking about dreaming, yes? But when I say dream, I'm just going to put a bunch of things in a basket. Purpose, vision, career, you could say career, job, something like that, okay? Let's put them a vision, whatever it is. And we're going to put them all in the basket for when I talk about it tonight. And so, last thing before I go, Dr. Miles Monroe, right from here in the Bahamas, 242. I love it. I love his work, his writings. Some would even say I may be a mentor. That's what people say now, because I love his teachings. And this is what he says, because he's a legendary dreamer and visionary. So he speaks about the basket of what I just talked about. He says vision. It imprisons you so you can fulfill it. Vision, if you have a vision for your life, a purpose, a dream, it imprisons you so you can fulfill it. And then he says a lot about vision, but he says that when you find a vision for your life, this one really, yes, his teachings are profound. This one really caught my attention when he said, when you have a vision for your life, you might lose friends, right? Might lose family members, right? Uh, Listen, he said it's dangerous to find a vision. Man, this is some powerful statements. Vision, purpose, dream. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm putting them all in a basket because technically they are different things, but for tonight, we're gonna just group them. He said it's dangerous. Vision is the source of self-discipline. These are just some statements that he said all of this in one like 2-minute thing. And I'm just gonna go on and talk. He talks about vision. When you have vision, you're ready for leadership. So people with a clear vision, they live a narrow life. They're focused. They're self-disciplined. So here we go. It was about 20 years ago. And I told y'all I'll tell my story. About 20 years ago, on November 5th, 2005. I know the date, and you can see why I know the date so well. November 5th, 2005. I just finished reading the book that changed my life forever. And back in the day, right? Back in the day, I used to love to read. I like to read now, but with the eyes and the concentration going here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes it's best for me to listen to thought leaders, and even when I study my Bible, sometimes it's best for me to listen than to read. But I read this book 20 years ago, and y'all know, most of you should know the author Bruce Wilkinson for the book of Jabez, right? The Prayer of Jabez. He wrote that book. Well, I read another book of his called The Dream Giver. Anybody read that book? What was the name? Oh, Tanya. So Tanya, you were just asking me, and I'm right here saying The Dream Giver, right? I read his book called The Dream Giver. And after reading that book, listen, God placed a dream in me. No, he didn't place a dream in me. I got to correct that. He revealed the dream that I think was always in me. He revealed the vision for my life after reading this book. It was always there, but it was manifested more clearly after reading this book. And so I got a 3x5 index card. I'm about to show you right now. I don't know if y'all could see it. You see this card? It's all written up. And I know you can't see, but almost 20 years ago. And it says up here, November 5th, 2:37 a.m. I was having problems with sleeping from then. 2005, and it has my dream defined. And I filled this card, I filled the back. And listen, we've moved to, I can't say, maybe about 4 countries since then. We've moved to about 4 countries, and we have we've gone to, I don't know, no, not 4 countries, to about 4 or 5 different homes, lived in about 2 or 3 different countries since then. And this little card here, this dream that God placed on my heart, I would lose clothes, shoes, but I wasn't losing this, because it came so clear. It was so profound. And on that day, it became very clear to me after, wait, let me just say this. I'm skipping. The dream was bigger than me. It was way bigger than me. And it still is. And it was so scary, scarier than I could ever imagine. And thanks to my increased faith now, right? I'm not as, well, I wouldn't even say I'm afraid. I just go with the flow. But back then, my faith wasn't where it is now, and it's always growing. And I'm like, oh no, God, you gotta be kidding. You must be talking to somebody else. And basically, I got a call to full-time ministry. I got a call to, because listen, On this day, after I read that book, after I had finished reading that book, I after years of being in the business world, after years of working in accounting and finance, after years of working, I had worked for Fortune 500 companies. I just thought this dream was the strangest dream, to be called to do full-time ministry, to serve. I got a clear vision. I was called to encourage, counsel, speak, teach, and that's way off from accounting and finance. And to make it worse, okay, it was clear that it wasn't to be one to two or three people, but to many people, to the masses. And I'm like, that's a big joke, okay? Because uh, number one, I was sharing with a young lady yesterday at a function, and we lived in DC many years ago. And I was telling this young lady that after church, I would leave church and I would tell hubby, hey, let's get to the car quick. Why? Because when people came after church, my lips would be trembling. I would, I just had anxiety. I didn't want to go through the stress of having to deal with people. And so when years later I get a call or I get a dream, a vision for my life that said I needed to speak to the masses, I needed to, encourage. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a joke. Now listen to me. Like I said, it was strange, scary, and it was really like, it was hilarious. And no disrespect to God, but I was really literally like, homeboy, you got to be kidding me. Let's do this again. I wanted to put that book somewhere where I could not find it, but I could not. It was just in my heart. I had to write it all out. And because I never once imagined that I would leave this lucrative, that lucrative career, because it's been more than 20 years I haven't been really in it. I would leave that lucrative career to first be a minister to my family, right? Because I had two parts of the CPA. I had just finished my MBA, and I wanted, Wall Street was my dream. And then he's telling me, you got to go in the street to encourage any and everybody I send your way. You got to go and inspire and motivate. And I'm like, no, that ain't lining up. That ain't what I thought it was supposed to be. I wanted to have a life of quote unquote luxury, right? And so I tried everything since then. I have tried everything since then. Faith is the key. Absolutely. Faith is the key. And that's the thing. I want somebody who is listening to understand that that is the key right there. Because had I not had faith, I was going to be like, okay, wrong book. No, I know I'm getting some mixed signals. This ain't for me. But and I had the mustard seed size faith, but that's all you need. And it hasn't been easy. It has not been easy. I had many years just wandering and wandering in the wilderness, in the literal wilderness, many years of pushing back, especially those early years when I was pretty much stuck in the house nursing, right? Nursing babies. And I'm like, okay, so when this dream about to come to fruition, you say I'm going to talk to, oh boy, the bugs in the light. You say I'm going to talk to many, but I'm just here trying to get this baby quiet, right? And so that was years in the wilderness. And then those years when friends and family looked at me, right, with the side eye, because I spent all that money eh, really on quality education. And it seemed like I just abandoned it and forgot it to take care of family and to take care of friends and whatever and strangers. Those years when I had to preach in pulpits and I was accosted by elders, yeah, that's when the dream started feeling like a little nightmare. Like, that something gotta be wrong. Those years when I was exiled and banished from a place where I knew I should have been and I couldn't get there. Those years when my savings, these are the real tough ones, right? When the savings ran right out. I know somebody know what I'm talking about tonight. Somebody knows that Sometimes you have a dream, you have a vision, you have something that's been placed on your heart. You have been there, Michelle. And, it's like no money. I literally waiting for the ravens technically to show up, because I'm like, okay, God, this is something you called me to. I'm walking in obedience. I'm walking in faith. And you say you're going to take care of me. So I'm trusting. And let me tell you, never once in those 20 years has he not come through. And um, and that's the thing. Yes, I had to walk away from the Fortune 500 and the lucrative and the prestige and the money. And, you know, people would say, okay, that was fortune. I could go after the real fortune. But I shared on Marlene and Michelle's Inspirational Monday. You got to watch that. I shared on their show that that even though I walked away from the Fortune 500s, I did not get true fortune until I followed the dream that was placed on my heart. I did not get true fortune until you see this thing here that I hang on to and hold on to, because that's when I got real fulfillment. When I started encouraging, when I started staying up all hours of the night for when people would call from all around the world, people would come to my house, sleeping on the floor if they have relationship troubles, friends, family who needed guidance. That's when I started feeling real fulfillment. That's when all the headaches, the physical pain, and all that kind of stuff that I would endure by following what I thought was the best dream for my life. When that's when things started coming through for me. And years later, it still isn't easy, but it's fulfilling. The work is hard, but it's not like that drudgery, like when you work and it's just not rewarding. No, like I say, I could be up all night. I could be up preparing. Sometimes even for this, I'm feeling just really tired or down. But when I get here, it's just that infilling, just knowing that I am in the right place doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. It just inspires, uplifts, and empowers me. And so I I I want somebody, I need somebody to realize that if you're not living that dream, in fact, I want you to just even stop now and think. Some people don't even think about a dream for their life. Somebody just settles and they just sit and they say, you know what, I'm okay. I'm almost ready for retirement. What am I going to dream about? Or somebody may be like, okay, my parents have already, somebody may say, my parents have already put so much money. In fact, a young girl that I was talking to yesterday, she just finished a degree. And when I asked her what is in her heart, guess what? It was not the degree she got. And I'm like, why aren't you pursuing that thing that you just told me about? And she said, no, too many people discouraged me. They said I was too young. I wasn't supposed to be in that career. And this same guy, Bruce Wilkinson, talks about those kind of people. They're called border bullies. Huh? Because when you're ready to push and go to the next level of success, because remember, that's what we do here. We're talking about flowing in greatness. Hashtag flowing in greatness. At Banter with Bev, we will inspire us. We just want to live and be the best version of ourselves. And that's what I really, really started to feel when I started walking in my purpose, when I accept the dream for my life, when I threw away what I thought. And so this young girl, I'll get back to what she said. I'm like, well, and she was like, too many naysayers. So the border bullies, they're the people, when you're trying to go to the next level, they stand at the border. They want you to stay in ordinary. They don't want you to go to extraordinary, right? They want you to live in mediocrity. They don't want you to go to exceptionality for whatever reason. Maybe they just can't see the vision. Yes, hashtag flowing in greatness. That's what this is about. And they don't, maybe, and sometimes it's our parents, it's the closest people to us, right? They can't understand the call. But somebody said it to me one day. I don't know, or maybe I read it. Somebody said it or I read it, where everybody ain't gonna understand the call. Why? because the call was not a conference call. And when I was like, that's right, it was an individual call. It was for you to understand. It's for you to pursue. It's for you to go after. You're a man. Like, okay, man, I'm all over the place here. And I think when I'm all over the place is when I'm better, really. But I just don't like to miss points. Oh man, let me stay focused because I didn't want to go too long tonight, and I want to hear back from you guys. It is not their vision, it's yours. Absolutely. And we, I truly believe a lot of us are not living our best lives. And when I say that some people in Christendom get upset, you know I can't live my best life apart from God. So, and I believe God has abundance for us while we're here. But if we're living and pursuing the dreams of others, that's coming up. I'm going to, three thoughts that came to my head that I have to share with you guys. If we living and pursuing the dreams of others and not the dream, the vision, the call that God placed on our lives, we're going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck, and we'll never get outside of our comfort zone. So let me say this quick. 5 things you can do, because I realize that some people on this call, yes, some people on this call, we're all at different places, right? We're all at different stages when it comes to visions and dreams. Some people are living their dream, right? And some people they ain't got a dream. They don't even know. Some people on here saying, man, what you talking about? So here is what I want to say. I want you to pay attention to 5 things when you are a dreamer, or you want to be a dreamer, or you can't stop dreaming like me. Huh? Because, man, let me tell you, I'm only functioning on 3 hours now, 4 hours, and it's for more reasons than just the dream. But when you can't stop dreaming, when you know you want more for your life, when you know that there's more for your life, pay attention to these 5 things. Number 1, seek. Let me see. Seek or find it. And I'm talking about the dream, the vision, the job, the career that's going to fulfill you. Remember, all in one basket. So seek and find it. Launch it, right? That's my little teaching moment. Nurture it, protect it, and keep it. All right? So that's what I want you to do. 5 things. I want you to seek and find it. If or when you feel restless, right? If or when you feel unfulfilled, if or when, or maybe you're fulfilled, but you still sense that there's more you can give. You still sense bugs are flying. You still sense that you can have greater impact, greater influence, right? Go, how do you seek? How do you search for it? For somebody who's out there who may just be feeling like, I know what you're talking about. That's just way over my head, or I ain't no dreamer. Let me tell you, let me invite you to become a dreamer, right? And how do you do that? Go to God, the source. You go to him. And because the same one who created you and put everything in you, everything that you need to find fulfillment, to live out your life's purpose, that's the one who will place the dream that you can get rid of. The one that, is tearing, right? And I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but that's the one who will give you that dream. Surround yourself with wise people. Many times we just got a bunch of people around us who don't need to be around us. Huh? Right? So surround yourself with wise people, with people who know better than you know yourself. Let me give you an example. One of my besties, she talks about, because I thought that this dream, you see how I said to you guys that God gave me that dream after reading that book, it came on me, and then I had to back, and I said, no. It was always there. It was just revealed. And then my girlfriend, just yesterday, she reminds me all the time of when we were in primary, elementary school, and how I came up to her. It was her first day to school. I had already been attending this school, and I came to her, and I was like, come. Well, generally speaking, this is what I said. A little girl, I guess with little piggy tails or whatever. I was like, come, let me show you and your brothers around. Let me make you comfortable. Let me, And she was like, that made such an impact. And of course, there are many things, but from that day, she was encouraged. She was inspired and motivated to stay in a school where she didn't know anybody. From that day, that is something that is in me, right? I didn't know it then. I didn't know that I was called to do that then. So that's why I'm saying, surround yourself with people who can remind you, yes, it's dormant. Seek and find it. Yes, launch it. Absolutely. And did you get number 3? Anyway, I'll repeat it again. And there are many things that are dormant, laying in us, just waiting to be birthed. And so don't limit yourself. This is a big one. We like to limit ourselves, huh? We like to say, I ain't got the money. I ain't got the time. I ain't got this, the resources. So if you want to if you really want to find your dream and your purpose, these are some things you have to do. Understand that it's probably the vision is more likely than not bigger than you. Why? Because we serve a bigger than us God. We have so limited, we're so limited. And so listen, I would have never thought I would be here talking to, I don't even know who on the next end, right? I don't even know what this is about. Many times many times I come to this and I'm like, God, what is this? But I'm just compelled. I just have to come. I just have to get it out. Right? And this is why I can say, yeah, I may not have all the money. I may not have all the resources, but I am living the best life in this moment because I'm living in the will of God. I am living the purpose. His purpose is being fulfilled in my life, right? Spend time. This is 2 other practical things you can do. Spend time looking at the lives of those you admire. Huh? People who you admire and say, oh, I like how they do that thing. Oh, I like how they do this thing. Like I told you, Miles Monroe, I admire him. I love how he speaks with confidence. I love all like that. And then last thing, envision what you want for your life, what you want your life to be like. You want your life to be a life of travel, and you don't have to worry about finances. You want a life like Oprah or I don't know who, but envision what you want your life to be like. See yourself in that position, right? And then let's go to launch it. What do we do to launch it? To launch our vision after we find it. Because let me tell you, when you go to God, you're going to find it. What do you do to launch it? Go with the flow, huh? Go with it. Don't doubt it. Like Nike says, just do it. Literally just do it. Step out in faith despite the confusion and the cloudiness. Huh? I started Banter with Bev in January, as some of you may know. And I was like, I did 1 or 2, and I'm like, man, this ain't for me. I ain't know where I'm going. I still don't know where I'm going half the time. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, right? But look, I'm here. And so God wants to see, sometimes you have to take those baby steps first, because I believe that God wants to see that you believe, that we believe in him, and you believe in the big dream that he has for you. Look at the children of Israel. They couldn't cross the Red Sea. In fact, the waters wouldn't part unless they put their foot in the water, right? You got to take that first baby step. And yeah, you have to act in faith. Like I say, unless you put your foot in the water, when you do that, the doors will start opening. Opportunities will come your way. But you got to step out there. You got to believe in the dream. You got to believe in the dream giver, right? And despite what you're feeling, that's what we talk about when we say, okay, what time we have? Okay. That's what we talk about when we say faith over fear, right? Then we got to nurture it. How do we nurture the dream, nurture the vision, the call on our life? Affirm the existence of your dream. At first, when I step out in faith, absolutely. You know how when I started and I asked, does anybody have a dream? I know some people who listening to me got all kind of nice, sweet dreams. I know it, but I do know also that a lot of times we're afraid to share it. Now I'm going to talk about that too coming up. But just to say, yes, you have a dream, just to get it out there that I want something more for my life. And you don't run from it. You don't dumb it down. You don't be embarrassed by it or act like it doesn't exist. No. You name it, you claim it, and you speak it. You speak it into reality. There's power. We have to speak life over our dreams. A lot of times we feel like, um, I don't know. I don't understand why we're afraid. We operate in fear. We don't speak our, the bigness that our big God has for us. I don't know what that is. I think again that is a trap to keep us in mediocrity. Look, um, and then yeah, you speak life. Remember, you got to first believe in your dream before you can invest in your dream. I saw that somewhere. If you don't believe in it, you ain't gonna invest in it. If you don't believe in it, nobody else gonna believe in it, right? So you gotta walk and talk and speak that thing into reality, because you gotta treat it like a living thing. What you feed will grow. So if you just, okay, you're thinking about it, not talking about it, it probably could slip your mind, or you could stop believing in it. All right. Number 4, protect it. How do you protect it? Just because you believe in your dream don't mean everybody else will believe in your dream. I already talked a little bit about that, right? It don't mean like everybody else will believe in it, right? There will always be people who want to keep you from going to your next level of success. People who want to keep you in the land of ordinary. I talked a little bit about that. I talked a little bit about Joseph. Listen, a few weeks ago, I did a Facebook reel. I just started doing these reels on Facebook. Again, I don't know, half of the time, I'm just having fun, right? And that's a key thing too. Have fun with it. And I did a Facebook reel. It was about protecting your mission to greatness and being careful with who you share your vision and your dreams with, right? That's one of the reasons, that's one of the ways to protect it, because remember Joseph, he got all excited, tell his family, and then he ended up in the pit. Because there gonna be some people you share it with who ain't happy for you, some people who jealous, right? So that's how you protect it. They won't see the vision. I talked a little bit about that. Let's go to 5. Keep it, right? So you protect it and then you keep it. This is really key. You keep it. What do I mean? You don't lose sight. You don't get distracted by the naysayers. Very true. You don't get distracted by the naysayers and go back to what's comfortable. It's so easy to go back to what's comfortable. When you ain't making them dollars, it's so easy to say, hey, let me go find a job, instead of staying in faith and saying, God will provide. He'll, even if you have to send a raven to feed you, if he send the ram in the thicket, he will provide, right? Don't get weary in doing well. So you don't lose sight. You don't get weary in doing well. You're going to get tired of the long hours, because it ain't gonna be no 9 to 5. The vision and the dream, it ain't gonna be no 9 to 5. It's gonna be some long hours, huh? But you can't get weary in doing well. You can't get frustrated because nobody's seeing or acknowledging the vision or the dream. Remember what I said earlier? It wasn't a conference call, huh? You have to just stay in it, right? And don't give up. Trust the process. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a rocky road. It's going to be, your faith going to be tested. It's going to be times when you ask yourself, man, what is this? What is this? But that's when you not just trust the process, but you trust the dream giver, the one who took you to the process, because he will take you through it. And you don't abandon it. Whatever you do, you don't abandon it. You stick with it. You trust it. So let me just do anybody. Yes, protect and keep it. Absolutely. Protect and keep it. If you got any thoughts, because I'm coming to the end of my presentation. Look like we're going to end early tonight. Well, it's only me here, so that's probably why we're going to end a little earlier. But there were 3 quotes I wanted to put up for you guys tonight. But again, I'm not understanding this thing, so the technology I couldn't get right. But there are 3 thoughts or quotes that came to my mind. And I probably put it on social media on one of my pages or whatever. Here's the first thing. Be careful Somebody's dream for your life might just become your nightmare. So get clear. I'm going to repeat that. Be careful. Somebody's dream for your life might just become your nightmare. So get clear on what the dream, the vision is for your life. Huh? Because if you take on somebody else's dream, it might be more than likely it's going to become a nightmare. Second thing, be careful. Don't let your dream, the one that you got, the one that was a direct individual call, not no conference thing. Don't let your dream or somebody else's dream for your life become your nightmare. That's a warning. Be careful, because sometimes when you get your dream, it could become a nightmare too, because then we forget the dream giver and we keep the dream giver outside, and we start trying to do what we think is best, or what we think is the best way to accomplish it. Always got to go back to the source, right? And then finally, be careful. These are like 3 warnings when it comes to dreams and your vision for your life, living your best life and being the best version of yourself. Be careful. This is a key one, especially for somebody who might have listened to me or who's listening. Be careful. If you have no dream at all, your life will become a nightmare. I truly, truly believe that. If you have no dream, if you're just day in, day out, all the drudgery, just, or if you're running away from the dream, anything like that, your night will become miserable, unpleasant. Huh? It will become unpleasant. So let me I'll ask that question again. Does anybody have a dream who's in the chat? If you have a dream, say, got it. Just let me see. If you have a dream, let me see somebody. Even if you feel like you're living your best life, even if you feel like you have the vision, you got a clear vision and you're in that. Do you have a dream? Got it. Excellent. Now I'm excited. Got it. Excellent. Got it. And so if you got a dream, I love that. And so when you get a dream, excellent. Just focus on that dream, work towards it. Got it. I'm excited, right? Because when you get it, go and share it. Even if you don't share the details of your dream, let others know that you are living on purpose. Let others know that you're not just going to a job, day in, day out to get $1, right? But you want to live your life with impact, with influence, until the last breath you take. I really believe that is what we're placed there for, right? Got it. Ivy got it. Krish got it. That is just the best thing. And this is why I'm saying it is so important and for us to just live that life that we're called to live. Because technically, this is me, not on Wall Street. I'm not in the Fortune 500 companies. I'm in the street right now, right? Just trying to encourage somebody, just trying to motivate, inspire somebody to live the best life that they can live by following the dream, by following the vision. Seek. And how do you do that? The 5 ways. Seek and find it, right? You launch it, you protect it, no, you nurture it. And of course, all of these things, they can be broken down, but we only have an hour. And so you nurture it, you protect it, and you don't let it go. You keep it. And so that's just the little talk, the little free flow convo. If you have any questions, this topic so resonates with me. Awesomeness. If you have any questions about anything I said, start putting them in the chat. I'm going to be going shortly. But if there's any question, anything I said, anything that might have popped up in your mind, anything you may not have understood, just put it in the chat. But I'm glad this topic resonated with you, Delat. Awesomeness. Next week, I'll be talking more. I won't be doing the free flow thing here. I'll have somebody on my side This was just a little trial run with this. And if you want more of this, let me know. You could put that in the group. If you want more of this, let me see. What can you say? Yes. Just put a yes. If you want more free flow convo just by myself, just put a yes. If you don't, then you don't got to worry about this no more. Or maybe I still will come here and you just don't tune in, right? Because yes, excellent delay. One yes, and I'll be here doing it again. So excellent, great topic, Travis. Awesome, awesome. Yes, that's my young ones saying yes. I'm excited. So listen to me. Next week I'll be talking about leadership. Yes, Krish, I see it. I'll be talking about leadership and legacy and how that is tied into hashtag flowing in greatness, right? Like I said, I'll have a guest with me, and we know that Miles Monroe, he was a guru talking about leadership, and there's so many other people. So truly enjoyed it. Awesome, Linda. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm excited about what's coming in. And so free flow works for me, Sasha. Sounds good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. Awesome, Michelle. Excellent. That makes me feel good. So we'll get the free flow convos in and we'll intertwine it uh with the interviews, right? But before I go, so y'all have been so good. Y'all were the co-host, really. You were the, is that it? Co-host? You were the co-host, you were the guest. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. But I want to ask you to, you can either inbox me or you could drop it again. God bless you, expand your territory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's, let me tell you, that book there, The Prayer of Jabez, I could give a quick testimony about that because it ain't quite 9 yet. Thank you, Bev. Yay. T, you stayed awake. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. But I may have shared this testimony at one of my speaking engagements, so you may have heard it, or one of the preachers, I don't know. But when you say expand the territory, I remember praying that prayer of Jabez prayer for 2 years straight. I would go walking in my neighborhood. And I would be like, God, just expand my territory. Give me more. Give me more people that I can encourage, inspire, tell about you. Da, 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 da. And I went to live in Mexico for a year. Me and the children, hubby stayed here. And let me tell you, just a short story. Count you in. Excellent. Got it. Excellent. I love what I'm seeing. Awesomeness. I went there and let me make a long story. Okay. Y'all forgive me for this tongue-tiedness, but I'd make a long story short. I met a young man from China, and some people who are on would know. I always talk about him. I was about to call his name, but I won't because this is a public arena. And he became one of my bonus children, one of my bonus sons. The children loved him, and he was, I guess, like the older brother. And he had no idea about God. None. Zero. Didn't know what the word faith meant, anything like that. Long and short of it was because of a mental health challenge that he struggled with. I was the only person, well, this is what he told me, that he would confide in and that he felt safe and to talk about his challenges with. And that was the opportunity for me to introduce him to faith and to God and to a power greater than himself, and to see how he got victory and he got peace even while struggling with this challenge was just such a powerful indication of expanding, of God answering prayer, that specific prayer of expanding my territory. And yes, it was just, I mean, he would come to my house. It was just a wonderful thing. So look, if that vision is in your heart and is in your life, I don't care how big the mountains may seem. I don't care how wide the rivers may be. Listen to me. God will give you everything you need for that to come to fruition. Everything and more. And so I challenge you to go ahead and pursue it and keep it. Keep it. Hold it dear. Hold it like this old beat up paper. And one day I will share all the details. I have so many twists and turns to my story. I just gave an overview. But I thank you all for coming. as I was asking y'all before I go, can you inbox me and let me know if there's anything in particular? Because some people are sending me notes, private notes on some topics that you may want to hear, you want us to discuss in this little community. Just let me know. So, man, we're gonna end a little early. Let me see. Is there anything coming in the comments? But you can send me. Y'all hear my little froggy saying hi to you guys? It's been rainy here. Have a great week, T. Have an awesome week. It's been a very, very rainy week, few days here in the Bahamas, and the froggies outside saying hello. I don't know if you heard, but if there is any topic or anything, you can always inbox me. And so once again, we've had an awesome, awesome night. Hey, Joe, I guess you came on late, but hey, better late than never. Great free flow time. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I really thank each and every one of you for joining me. I tell you, this hour goes quicker than I could ever imagine. But you all helped me to get through. This was a little challenge. This was a little mountain for me tonight, but you all helped me to get through it. And I thank you. So hopefully I'll see you here next week. Same time, same place, where we'll be having more fun. We'll be talking about leadership and legacy. We'll have more inspiration, more encouragement, more empowerment. Have a wonderful week, Travis. And look, I'm Beverley R. Williams from Be Will Inspires. And I'm here reminding you, what am I reminding you? That greatness is in you and great things is what we do, right? Great things is what we do. Now go be great. Have an awesome week. Have an awesome week, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you next week. Dreams don't die until you die. Mercy. I love that. Love it. Love it. Mwah, Sasha. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, First Lady. First Lady Seymour, thank you. Good night. Go be great.